it's Michelle from the Scattered Scrapper. Welcome to my channel. Today I am working on layout number 2 from the RTS Scrapbooking Summer 4 for 4 series here on YouTube. And I'm going to be actually doing a double page spread. I don't normally do those, but it'll be something fun and different for me. I'm going to be scrapbooking these pictures of us at the Pirate Putt-Putt, Pirates Island, Pirate Putt-Putt Golf and Games, and on our vacation. When did we go? I think it was in 2021. I think that's what these are from. So I've got some of my embellishments picked out. I have my title. I have the papers that I cut per Miss Janet's instructions, and I did go outside of my kit like I knew I would to get some piratey embellishments since I didn't have those in. But yes, the color scheme is a little different, but not really. There's the dark blue and there's this teal here, so I think that we're going to be able to make it work. So let's get started. Okay, I hope that y'all are scrapping along with me, or you have got a nice beverage and a nice snack, because this one's going to be a little long. I don't, like I said before, don't usually do double page layouts with this many pictures, so I struggled just a little bit. But what I'm doing here is I'm going to follow Ms. Janet's layout that she did pretty much exactly. I mean, it's basically I'm doing a scrap lift, and in her layout she has two 4x6s that are the vertical 4x6s. So I've got these two vertical 4x6s, and I'm using one of my bonus papers there, that really pretty palm tree paper, as my backing, my photo mat. There's the word. And I'm going to be popping them up on some foam here. And this is my favorite, really thin foam. And I need to get some more because I am almost completely out. Only I can't remember where I got it from. So here I'm just going to stick this piece on here and set those aside. And what I need to do is figure out how I'm going to put in my papers. Now, these that I'm laying out right here are the pieces that were called for this layout. But I don't have enough because I did not cut papers for double page spreads. Oh, there's a little sneaky peeky of where I've been keeping all my goodies at. But I only cut papers for single layouts, so I didn't have enough of these 3x4 rectangles to span the whole 2-page spread. So I had to cut some more, but thankfully I had my little bonus papers, and also I had the collection just sitting there, or in my little container there, so I could go through and pick out some coordinating papers so I could make me some extra 3x4, basically they're like 3x4 cards. And I'm just trying to figure out where I want them to go and which direction I want them to lay, because some of them do have kind of a directional print to them, like the the palm trees. The palm trees are, up and down like a palm tree is. But thankfully, the way that the print was, I could lay it down on its side, and it looked like, the palm trees on certain beaches where they're basically parallel to the ground instead of being perpendicular. That it just kind of looks like that. So I was really glad of that. And I'm using my little T-square ruler here just to make sure some things are straight. And I'm not being too particular about how far apart they are. I'm just kind of eyeballing that, but I did want the top and the bottom to be straight. So now I'm going to do the other side, and at first I was just going to start putting them down, but then I got the idea, well, wait a minute, I want them to be the same height. And there I was going to use my grid mat for that, but then I'm like, well, why don't I just butt them up against one another and then put them on that way? Oh, so that's what I did. So now I'm just going to make sure that they're in the same area. And that way I can have them be even. So now I've got my base down. And I really love how this looks, just like that. I'm kind of thinking I might need to do another layout like this, but not have this right here. So what Miss Janet did was she used some white cardstock and she matted in a grid her photos. So she had several little 3x4 photos, or I think hers, she calls them wallet size. They're not quite 3x4, but mine are the 3x4. And so I'm just going to mat them here on this white cardstock, which is just an 8.5 by 11. And then I'm going to trim it down. And I have filled in the empty space with actual 3x4 little journaling cards or picture cards or whatever. And I love this one that's right here that says, "Take me to the ocean." I'm glad I have another page of these, because I definitely want to use that again with pictures of us actually at the ocean. Because now while we are at the beach, this putt-putt golf is at the beach. We're not actually on the ocean, and we're not on the way to the ocean, so but I love that background that's on. It's just, oh, it's so beautiful. So I want to use it again. But see, here I'm like, well, we're not really at the ocean. Don't take me to the ocean. So I'm thinking, ooh, I can use one of these to cover that up. And that just says, yo ho ho, a pirate's life for me. And since we're at the pirate putt-putt, that works perfect. But it's not quite big enough. So I'm going to use some of my white cardstock to cover up the words. But I still want to see that dark blue. I don't want to cover it up all the way. So I started out trying to measure. I don't know why I bother trying to measure. I am not really good at measuring. So I just used my pen there to mark where the letters end, and then I can just trim this off. And I trimmed it a little bit too small, but in the grand scheme of things, nobody can tell. You can't really see that it was words behind there, so it worked out perfect. So I'm just going to put that down there, and of course I put it on there crooked because that's just how I roll. Everything's always crooked. And then I set this chipboard piece. This is the Echo Park. What is the name of this collection? I actually have the papers that goes with this collection, but I can't remember the name of it. Pirate Tales, I think is what it's called. So I get that on there, and that's probably my most favorite part of this whole layout. Is that one card right there. So then I just did the same thing to the pictures on the left side, and I've got my little grid down, and I'm gonna line them up. And the hardest thing for me for this whole layout was actually not any of this. This was fun. I enjoyed it. I think it looks really good. I'm excited about how the pictures turned out on the layout, and it was a lot of fun. I enjoy doing a grid. I just haven't ever done one this size before, but it was really fun. But here I'm about, this is where I start to struggle. Now, before you say anything, I'm sure you've already noticed, you probably noticed it right at the very beginning. I know that my title is wrong. I know that says Cheers for Pirate Putt-Putt and not Putt-Putt. I know. And I kept looking at it and I knew, I'm like, that is not right. But for some reason, I could not think right at the time when I was doing all this exactly how you spell Putt-Putt. I mean, it's not a word that I use very regular, so I don't really have a clear picture in my mind of how this word looks. But I do fix it. I do fix it. So don't worry. We don't say cheers to Pirate Putt-Putt for long. But I can't figure out how I want to do the title. Do I want it to go just in this upper corner here? Of course, it's not going to fit. It's too big. If I were going to do a small title, I should have used very small letters, but I didn't. No, ignore that. Just ignore it. You can do it. So I'm just kind of struggling. And now I like where pirate is right here. I think that looks really cute, but it's not going to stay there because I've got to move Putt-Putt, because when I do fix how to spell it, and it's going to be really even more big. So it's going to be really long. So then I'm thinking, well, maybe I'll just span it across the 2 pages. So I moved my pirate banner up, and I like that. And my idea from the beginning when I saw these banners on the chipboard was to use my baker's twine to make the rope that the banner hangs off of. So that's what I plan to do. And then there you can see, we can all breathe a sigh of relief. I have fixed the Putt-Putt, so now it says Putt-Putt and not Putt-Putt. And I have also changed the word to. I made it out of much smaller letters. So that's going to help me a little bit to be able to put this cheers where I want it to go. Except that I still fight with it. I don't know if I should have changed the cheers, but I really wanted to use this. I've had those stickers for a long time, and I'm excited to get things that I've had in my stash for a long time on pages. I'm really getting to the point where I'm just like, okay, I've got all of these beautiful embellishments, and I've got all these stickers and all these papers, and they're just sitting on shelves waiting for their turn to be used and put into my albums so that we can enjoy them. And I'm really getting to the point where I'm like, I've got to make more pages and use more stuff to get them into my albums so they can do what they were made for. But anyways, I got to use these little puffy stickers and the anchors here. I didn't sabotage myself with the gold this time. Even though, guess what? There is gold in my baker's twine. But it's so little, we're not going to worry with it. So here I am fiddling around with the cheers. It's hanging off of that dark blue paper. And, I mean, that's fine. I don't really mind so much that where there's holes in letters that, paper will cut in half. I know some people just don't like for there to be different stuff going on behind their letters, but that's not something I really worry about too much. But I didn't really, there was just something about it there. I felt like there just needed to be something more there. And I will figure that out in just a minute, but now I'm still struggling. So I think, well, maybe I'll put this banner up here. This was one of the pieces of paper that was assigned to this layout, and I do end up using it, but it's not going to go there. That's going to go away, and this big die cut is going to go away. Even though I'm trying, I am working so hard to make this fit, but it's not going to. But I know I want the cheers to work, and I know I want to put that anchor up there, and I just have to figure out the right combo or the right way. So because I can't figure it out, I just go do other stuff, because that's what you do. I am going to go through the die cuts that I've picked out, and I'm going to audition several different things up here, and then that shell's not going to work. And earlier I had one that was a square that had some bottles on it, and in my mind, I mean, they're not actually rum bottles, but in my mind I'm like, oh, that would be so cool to use that die cut on here because it could be rum bottles. It don't work. I even thought about trimming them out of the square, but I decided against it. And so I've put the fishtail banner on the other end of the striped paper to see if that won't work, because I didn't like how it was just squared off, but it just doesn't work. So I'm just gonna give up on trying to put any more papers or die cuts or anything like that up there. I'm just gonna figure out exactly how I want the cheers to lay, and gonna put my little 2 down, and then I'm going to go through the die cuts some more to see if another idea comes to mind. But I finally just give up on that completely. And what I'm going to do, instead of putting die cuts and things like that up there, I'm going to have my baker's twine start over there. And after I get this pirate banner glued down, and now it's like it's going to be, I'm like, okay, yes, now I can put this twine down. And so I started out with a little knot, and I have sped this up very, very fast. I think I've sped this up to like 9 times. I wish that that I could go this fast with this, because this process, I fought with this twine and glue for a long time. So here's a question. If you put twine on your pages, what kind of glue is your favorite to use? Because I tried the Tombow Mono, what is it called? The Tombow Aqua Mono Liquid Glue. Or is it Tombow Mono Aqua Liquid Glue? Anyways, I tried that, and I'm sure that it would work if I had all day to wait for it to dry, but I'm too impatient. So I've pulled out my the Scotch Quick Dry, well, they call it tacky glue now, but it dries fairly quickly. So I went ahead and used it instead, and that it holds the twine, but you have to fight with it. And I don't like fighting with my layouts. I want us to be friends. So, okay, I finally get all of that done, and I have my twine along the whole entire top. Excuse me. So I've got it twisted around, and I've got my little anchors hanging off of it. And now I'm just going through to see what else I would like to embellish my layout with. And there you can see that striped banner has now landed above the vertical 4x6 photo there on the right hand side. And then I'm going to use this little banner and a little word sticker that says have fun. And I'm going to put that up in the right hand corner of this photo. And on the other 4x6 vertical photo, I put a word sticker that says, I want to remember this. And then I see on this chipboard these little round skull and crossbones. And I was like, oh, they'll be perfect as enamel dots, or in place of enamel dots. But I could not for the life of me get one of those out because they are so small, and I couldn't poke it out from the back side. But thankfully there were a lot on there, so I just got some more. Also, I put 3 of those, and then I got that hat, and then another little little word phrase, and the ship's wheel. And then for that photo, I just put down a little word sticker that says best laugh ever, because my daughter was laughing. And I'm just looking through to see if there's any other words that go with what the theme is here. And I didn't see anything that, I think that particular set of words is from a December citrus twist kit from several years ago. So a lot of the words that, you know, they don't really go with it in the middle of summer. But that one did. So best laugh ever put down. And then up there at the top, I put the definition of fun. These word stickers here from Heidi Swap are a lot of fun. I'm having a little bit of trouble using the definition words, but I think I just need to embrace them and just put them down, and it'll be fine. So I did put that one up at the top of the Pirates Island picture, and because we did have a lot of fun. And now I'm going through the die cuts to see, because it's kind of getting to the point where I feel like I'm about done. So I put this little word sticker here that I got, and it says ready for adventure, because this picture of me and my girls was taken, you know, right before we started to play. And now I'm just going to finish filling out some of these areas where I'm kind of focusing my embellishments on. So I kind of have, I guess, a visual triangle, but there is so much going on this layout that I'm not wanting to put too much on there. Oh, look, see, there's the rum bottles again. I was wanting them on there so bad. But alas, they didn't make it. They'll have to wait for another pirate layout, I guess. And here I'm looking for, because I want to bring some more of that shimmery turquoise down to the bottom. So this little, it's some kind of a sea creature. So it was like that. So I put that down there, and then that little word sticker there says Pirates Only. And to finish out my little cluster of 3, I guess, I'm going to be using these enamel dots, because I've got my little chipboard piece with the skull and crossbone, and then in that upper right corner I put 2 enamel dots. And the bottom one, I just put 1, and then I put 2 of them up there under the cheers. So here I'm just going to make sure everything is glued down. And I'm trying to think while I'm doing this, what am I going to put on this banner? Because I know I'm not going to be doing a whole lot of journaling, because like I've said prior, most of my scrapbooking is the project life type. I do a lot of pocket page scrapbooking, so there's a lot of journaling in those pages. And this is just going to go right in line with our vacation, and I will have lots and lots of journaling and talking about this in those kinds of pages. So I'm not worried about where to put any journaling here. This is basically just making the pictures pretty. But I do have that kind of awkward emptiness. To me, it looks kind of empty in that little banner there beside the pirate hat. So I'm thinking, what can I put there? What can I put there while I'm making sure everything is glued down? I put a little bit too much glue on that, so I had to clean that up a little bit. And while I procrastinate and thinking about what to put in that banner, I go ahead and I trim off the hanging off parts of my twine because we don't need that anymore. And then I'm like, I think what I can put on there is the date. I have seen Miss Janet do that many times on a lot of her layouts, so I was like, well, that's the perfect spot to do that. And at first I put the wrong date. I have been working so much trying to get my 2020 album done that I put 20 on this one. But I'm like, wait a minute, this isn't from 2020, this is from 2021. So I go ahead and change that up. And then that is going to be the end. I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's kind of been a long one, so hopefully you got some scrapping done, or maybe cleaning up, or just kicking back and relaxing. And here are some close-ups. I hope that you're enjoying this series. I know I am thoroughly enjoying it, and I'm so excited to get this collection used that I have just absolutely fallen in love with. It is beautiful, and I'm so happy to have pages made with it to go in my album. So that's going to do it for now. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.